Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine for a moment, you're on this incredible journey, right? Through a land just steeped in history, ancient mysteries, maybe India.
Mm.
And you finally get there to this absolutely breathtaking historical site, a place just radiating centuries of culture, amazing architecture.
How you can picture it.
You're walking through these ancient ruins, maybe looking at the carvings, the sheer scale of it all,
Hmm.
soaking in that quiet feeling, that only places like this have.
Right, that sense of history.
The sun starts to dip lower, casting these long, dramatic shadows,
Hmm.
and then you see it.
Okay.
Standing right there amidst this incredible piece of history, there's this stark, official government warning.
A government warning, not just like a local thing.
No, not a suggestion, not advice, but a flat-out prohibition. It says, simply and honestly, kind of chillingly, no one shall enter after sunset.
Wow. That absolutely transforms your whole perception of the place, doesn't it?
Very cool.
It instantly takes what seems like, a standard historical spot and turns it into
Mhm.
something else entirely. A place acknowledged by like the highest authorities as genuinely dangerous after dark.
Exactly. You have to ask,
Mm.
what on earth could make a government agency, usually focused on preservation,
Hmm.
access, issue a warning like that? So stark, almost supernatural.
Precisely. And that is the enigma we're diving into today. Bhangarh Fort.
Hmm.
It's nestled deep in the desert landscape of Rajasthan, India. And it isn't just another ruin, it's this magnificent 16th century marvel, a real testament to an era of splendor.
Looks amazing in the pictures.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
But despite that daytime grandeur, it's infamous, globally famous, for this one specific, really unsettling reason, that absolute ban on entry once the sun goes down.
And that's our central question for this deep dive, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is it about this stunning, historically rich site that makes it so profoundly feared?
Yeah.
Why does just, daylight turning to darkness transform it from a picturesque ruin into a totally forbidden zone? A place with such palpable dread that even officials put up signs.
Hmm. What unseen forces are at play?
Right. Forces that seem to defy, well, normal explanation.
Exactly. So our mission today is really to sift through all these layers, the time, the legends, the modern experiences that have built up around Bhangarh Fort,
Okay.
to try and distill some truth from what's become a truly captivating mystery. We'll definitely get into the ancient legends, those compelling, often chilling tales passed down for generations, stories so ingrained they shape local life.
Can't avoid the legends with Bhangarh.
No way, but we won't stop there. We'll also look at modern eyewitness accounts, the visceral, sometimes terrifying experiences of people today, adventurers, researchers, thrill seekers who've maybe pushed the boundaries a bit.
Okay, the recent stuff too.
Yeah, and crucially, we'll explore that curious, almost unprecedented official acknowledgement of danger, that sign we were just talking about.
Yeah.
This isn't just about recounting a ghost story, though it certainly has all those elements, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
This deep dive is more about exploring that intersection of, like, documented history, deeply held folklore, and what many might just call unexplained phenomena. So prepare yourselves, because we are taking a journey into a place where the past isn't just history books. It feels very, very much alive, waiting, stirring in the shadows.
When you first see Bhangarh Fort by daylight, it really is. It's stunning, almost deceptively so. Picture this. It's strategically located, right? Sprawling between Jaipur and Alwar, framed by those ancient Ara Valley hills.
Beautiful setting.
Totally. And the scale from a distance is just, wow. This vast complex, a labyrinth of structures. You see these towering gates, intricate temples, the grand, decaying palaces where royalty lived.
You can imagine the grandeur.
Every crumbling stone, every archway, it whispers of its former glory. You can almost hear the echoes. Bhangarh wasn't just a fort, it was a flourishing kingdom.
Right.
Alive? Alive. With music from the courts, chatter from the bazaars, artisans working, just beauty and opulence everywhere. A real testament to a magnificent era.
Hub of activity.
Opulent courts, bustling markets. It speaks only of glorious history, right? Human ingenuity, prosperity on the surface.
But that vivid image, that sense of a thriving kingdom, it starts to fray, doesn't it? Quite perceptibly as the day wears on.
Yeah, how so?
Well, the very air, which felt light and inviting under the sun, it starts to feel thicker, heavy, oppressive almost as the sun goes down. As night falls, the atmosphere shifts, physically shifts. It's not just the temperature dropping and, the desert cooling off. It's something deeper,
Mhm.
The palpable unease settles over the ruins, a weight.
And this isn't just tourists imagining things.
Not according to the locals. This is a deep-seated absolute conviction among those who know the land best. The
Yeah.
people in the nearby Golakabas village, for instance.
Hmm.
They hold this unwavering, absolute refusal to step inside those walls after dark. For them, it's not a suggestion, not something to debate. It's a fundamental, unbreachable boundary.
They live right there, but they won't go in at night.
Right beside it, they uphold this unwritten rule with an almost religious fervor, a deep cultural reverence for this unseen line.
And their conviction isn't just quiet, right? It's spoken. I read about a proverb.
Oh, yeah. It's articulated in this chilling, deeply resonant proverb, one that echoes with generations of inherited fear, grim experiences, they say, and these words carry such weight. Jiznerat min kadamraka wa wapas nahiaya.
Okay, what's the translation?
It translates quite starkly to, those who stepped in at night never return.
Wow,
Okay.
just never returned.
Yeah, sit with that. Think about the weight of a statement like that, passed down parent to child, grandparent to grandchild for centuries. It's not just a spooky story, it's a foundational truth for their community.
It's way more than just superstition then.
Oh, much more. It's a deeply ingrained cultural taboo woven into the fabric of their existence. It speaks volumes about the collective memory of a community coexisting with this fort for so long.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just a story for tourists. It's a living, breathing, terrifying part of their reality. What does it mean for a whole village to live with this acknowledged boundary, this intergenerational fear?
It means the danger feels real to them. Viscerally real.
Exactly. And this conviction isn't arbitrary. It stems from a specific, incredibly tragic legend, one that's so deeply woven into the stones and shadows, it's basically indistinguishable from its history now.
So if this deep fear isn't random, it comes from a specific story. Let's go back. To understand it, we need to go back in time, right? To the late 1500s.
Mm-hmm. When Bhangarh was flourishing.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Ruled by Raja Madho Singh. Now, he wasn't just some minor ruler. He had clout. He was the brother of the famous Man Singh.
Ah, Man Singh, the general for Emperor Akbar. That's a huge connection.
Huge. Akbar, one of the most powerful Mughal emperors. So Bhangarh was significant politically, culturally, linked right to the heart of the Mughal Empire, a time of opulence, strategic importance.
Sets quite the grand stage.
Absolutely crucial backdrop, because it sets the stage for the drama, the devastating events that would just forever change the fort's destiny, turn it from power to dread.
Indeed. And within that powerful lineage, the legend introduces two key figures. Their lives, their souls, become just completely tangled up with Bhangarh's fate.
Okay, who are they?
First, Princess Ratnavati. Legends universally call her stunningly beautiful, graceful, captivating, but also incredibly wise, skilled in the arts.
Not just a pretty face.
Not at all. Her intellect, her discerning nature were apparently as striking as her beauty. She famously turned down loads of suitors from faraway lands. She wasn't easily swayed.
She's subby on the surface.
Exactly. A depth of character. And that wisdom, it plays a pivotal role in her tragic story.
Okay, so the princess, and who's the other figure?
The stark opposite, Singya, the tantric.
Ah, the sorcerer.
Yeah. Known as a powerful practitioner of tantric arts, specifically black magic. Feared, revered, sinister intentions, the whole package.
Okay.
And Singya didn't just admire Princess Ratnavati, he became utterly consumed by her. His fascination spiraled into this dangerous obsession.
Right.
He watched her constantly from the shadows, apparently, fixated, possessed almost, determined to have her, no matter the cost, no matter how, regardless of her feelings, obviously.
And he didn't try to, court her normally.
Oh, no. His methods were dark. He sought to bend her to his will using magic.
What did he do?
Well, knowing he couldn't win her affection legitimately, charm, honor, none of that, he resorted to the darkest arts.
Okay.
He painstakingly concocted this potent, dark spell, carefully imbued its energy into, get this, a bottle of perfume.
Perfume, seriously.
Seriously. His sinister plan was chillingly simple. He intended for her to fall completely under his control the moment she wore it. Helpless, subservient to her.
Incredibly insidious.
Totally. A desperate act, a violation of her free will, designed to subjugate her spirit, possess her entirely. He thought his power was absolute.
But Singya, for all his dark power, he underestimated the princess, right?
Gravely underestimated her. Princess Ratnavati, with her famous wisdom, her intuition, she wasn't just aware of his creepy intentions, she saw right through the trick.
She sensed the magic.
She sensed the dark energy from the perfume, understood the danger immediately. Her response was decisive. and ultimately fatal for Singya.
What did she do? Did she confront him?
Didn't hesitate. In this powerful act of defiance, rejecting his vile plan, she hurled the perfume bottle against a large stone nearby.
Okay.
The bottle shattered, and as it broke, the enchanted liquid, now unleashed, somehow caused the heavy stone itself to move.
Wait, the stone moved.
Yeah, it didn't just fall, it rolled with this unnatural, almost purposeful force, like the dark energy propelled it.
No way.
And in this terrifying twist, that very stone rolled right towards Singya and crushed him. Instantly. Dead. Wow. Talk about dramatic irony, his own magic, his own trick.
Becomes the instrument of his death, undone by his own malevolence.
But it wasn't over, was it, before he died?
No. Before he drew his last breath with his dying gasp, Singya, in this final surge of just rage and vengeance, unleashed this chilling, all-encompassing pronouncement.
The curse.
The curse, not just a curse. A devastating decree that would forever bind his vengeful spirit to the land, the people, sealing their fate. He cursed her, Ratnavati, for defying him, cursed her whole family, and then cursed the entire kingdom of Bhangarh itself.
And the exact words. They're pretty specific in the legend, aren't they?
Etched into it, spoken with this venom, this fury that almost seems to echo there today. He declared, "Let no soul live here in peace.
Chilling.
Let your land turn to dust. Let your people vanish."
Wow, just utter annihilation. Not just death, but perpetual desolation.
Imagine the raw fury, the sheer vengeful spirit in those words.
What's truly fascinating here, and honestly terrifying, is how deeply this curse, uttered in that moment of rage by a powerful black magician, how it became woven into the world's very fabric. It's presented as the fundamental reason for everything that followed. The power of a dying curse, especially from someone believed to have those abilities. It holds immense weight in folklore.
It elevates the whole story.
Totally. From unrequited love and cunning to this supernatural decree, this unbreakable bond determining the future. And yeah, the stage was set. The fall of Bhangarh, legend and maybe even history agree, began almost immediately.
And the fulfillment. It was chillingly swift, eerily precise. Not long after Singya's curse, tragedy struck Bhangarh with this devastating force.
What happened?
A brutal, unexpected war erupted, seemingly out of nowhere. Bhangarh against its neighbor, Ajabgarh.
Ah, the neighboring kingdom.
Yeah. The conflict was swift, decisive, just a whirlwind of destruction. Bhangarh, despite its glory, its alliances, it was completely overrun with a ferocity that just defied its former strength.
A massacre.
A horrific massacre. The royal family, the heart of the kingdom, slaughtered without mercy. Records, or at least the legends derived from them, speak of chaos, feudal resistance. The Ajabgarh forces just relentless. No royal blood left alive.
A catastrophic collapse then. Wiped out the ruling line completely.
Completely extinguished. And the most poignant detail, the one that really underscores the tragedy and the curse, is Princess Ratnavati's fate.
What happened to her?
It's widely believed she died right there, within the palace walls she once graced. Her soul forever trapped by the very curse Singya unleashed.
So her spirit is still there, according to the legends.
That's what they say. Bound to the palace, a testament to the unfulfilled peace, the tragic end the sorcerer decreed. Her suffering became part of the fort's oppressive atmosphere.
It's not just the immediate tragedy, though, is it? It's the enduring desolation that makes Bhangarh so unique.
You mean the fact that it still ruins?
Exactly.
Huh.
Since that war, since the royals perished and the princess's soul was supposedly trapped, Bhangarh Fort has never, ever been rebuilt.
No.
Never. It stands today exactly as it fell. A crumbling monument to ruin, abandonment, a silent testament to a curse's unwavering power.
Have people tried to rebuild or resettle?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's not for lack of trying. Over the centuries, various attempts were made to bring life back, restore its glory.
And
Every single attempt failed spectacularly, often under circumstances that just defy rational explanation.
like what? Not just lack of funding or something?
No, we're talking inexplicable phenomena. There are accounts, maybe more like historical rumors now, from the 17th, 18th centuries, groups trying to set up shop inside. One story tells of a wealthy merchant family from Jaipur, maybe a century after the fall. They bought some land, planned a grand residence.
Ambitious.
Very. They started building only to find materials vanishing overnight, tools breaking constantly, strange whispers all around.
Okay, that's greedy.
Then one night, a newly built wall, perfectly sturdy, inexplicably collapsed inward, almost crushed the workers. They abandoned the project, terrified.
So it wasn't just bad luck, it felt active.
Actively resisted, exactly. Another grim example, maybe early 19th century, a community of artisans tried to settle in the outer walls, hoping to use the location.
Makes sense.
Initially, they did okay. But soon, this mysterious, debilitating illness swept through.
Illness? What kind?
Not recognizable. Sudden high fevers, crippling joint pain, disorientation, leading to collapse. Doctors were baffled, couldn't treat it.
And it only affected them there.
It consistently struck anyone spending extended time inside the fort boundaries. The whole settlement had to abandon everything. Homes, livelihoods, possessions. They fled, believing the very air was poisoned by the curse.
That's horrifying. So the curse made the place physically uninhabitable, too.
Yeah.
How about disappearances? That's always the most chilling part of these legends.
It is. And the accounts of disappearances are maybe the most unsettling. Whispered tales,
Yeah.
Adventurers, treasure hunters, maybe brave local kids defying warnings, going deep into the ruins after dusk. One local legend, told often in Golakabas, speaks of 3 young men, late 19th century, made a dare to spend a night inside the main palace.
Oh, bad idea.
Terrible idea. Last seen entering just before sunset, next morning. Only their discarded torches and some scattered supplies near the gate.
And the men?
Vanished. Extensive searches, villagers, even British authorities, apparently. No trace. Ever. Simply vanished into the fort. Became part of the mystery. A stark lesson.
Wow.
This isn't just random bad luck. It points to a pattern, right? A consistent, maybe malevolent force actively resisting human presence, illustrating the curse's continuing power. It feels like the stones themselves are permeated with it. And the most unsettling part, the belief that still hangs heavy there, is the idea that every single night, the ruins awaken.
Awaken, like literally.
Implying an active presence, yeah.
Right.
A malevolent force stirs, becomes potent as darkness falls.
It raises that profound question, doesn't it? What does it mean for a place to actively resist people for centuries? Is it just residual energy from the curse?
Yeah.
A historical trauma manifesting supernaturally?
Or is it psychological? Generations of legend, fear creating its own reality, expectation shaping experience.
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, how does a place get so permanently marked by tragedy? So imprinted by the past that it fundamentally changes its present, makes life impossible there.
It's like the fort isn't just old stones, it's a living echo of suffering, vengeance. This profound desolation that actively repels life.
Exactly. And it's not just history locked away. The echoes continue. Today, pulling people in.
That persistent activity is what makes it so compelling still.
In recent decades, Bhangarh's pull has become irresistible for a whole different crowd, right? A modern kind of adventurer.
Paranormal investigators.
Exactly. Investigators with all the gear, EMF meters, thermal cams, vloggers looking for viral ghost hunts, thrill seekers wanting to test their nerve, maybe get proof.
Yeah, they flock there, especially around dusk, hoping to capture something definitive, prove or disprove the legends.
But the outcome, it's eerily consistent, isn't it?
Time and time again. Most leave terrified, shaken, can barely articulate what happened. Their bravery just shattered.
And some don't talk at all.
Even more unsettling, yeah. Some just clam up. You see that haunted look in their eyes, and that's it. Their equipment often shows nothing conclusive or malfunctions weirdly, but their personal experiences, profoundly impactful.
So what do they report experiencing? What are the common threads?
Well, the experiences paint this consistent, deeply unsettling picture, common things. Hearing distinct whispers in empty corridors, disembodied voices just out of sight, sometimes calling their names.
Creepy.
Very. Others describe that feeling of unseen footsteps following them, a phantom companion right behind you, maybe speeding up when you try to turn.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
And from the royal chambers where Ratnavati supposedly died, many report hearing a woman's soft, sad cries, echoing with this ancient sorrow.
So sounds, feelings, but anything more tangible, physical.
Oh, yes. Incidents that go beyond perception into, well, evidence. There's one shelling account, early 2000s maybe. A visitor went in alone at dusk, a known paranormal enthusiast.
Right.
Found later, unconscious, near the main gate after dark. And the horrifying part, deep, fresh claw marks on their back.
Claw marks from what?
Exactly. As if attacked by something strong, sharp. This wasn't just a feeling, it was physical evidence. A tangible mark left by something unseen, suggesting a violent interaction. The person was traumatized, couldn't explain it, just primal fear.
That's terrifying. Actual physical harm.
Then there's that widely reported incident from 2011. A group of 4 friends, amateur ghost hunters from Mumbai, eager for definitive proof.
Right.
They reportedly went in after dark, armed with cameras, night vision, audio recorders, the works, very confident.
And what happened? Did they get footage?
That's the unsettling part. The extensive footage, never recovered.
The cameras were lost.
Cameras were found, eventually, some damaged, but the actual evidence, the recordings, gone from the memorial cards, vanished.
Okay, that's weird. Technical failure.
Locals have a different explanation, even more unsettling. They claim the friends weren't just scared away, they were actively chased out by something not human.
Chased.
Yeah. The friends themselves, found later in extreme distress, reportedly spoke of sudden cold spikes, oppressive pressure, then feeling physically pursued, dropped their gear in a frantic escape.
Wow. That has this predatory layer, like something defends the place.
Exactly. It reinforces that idea. Whatever lurks there is powerful, maybe malevolent, and actively guards its domain.
And it's all these stories, ancient legends, modern accounts that bring us back to that official warning sign, right? From the Archaeological Survey of India, the ASI.
That undeniable piece of physical evidence.
This isn't just local advice. It's a directive from a government agency, a respected body managing historical sites. The sign itself, its wording, lends this incredible chilling weight to the whole thing.
Yeah.
The exact wording, as we said, entering the borders of Bhangarh after sunset is strictly prohibited. Unequivocal, no ambiguity.
And the implication is so powerful because of what it doesn't say.
Right. They don't explain why.
No scientific reason given, not unstable ruins, which you see elsewhere, not wild animals, a logical concern. Instead, this government body, steeped in science and preservation, issues a warning about phenomena that defy easy explanation, implying a danger that's, well,
supernatural.
It feels that way. What does it mean when an official agency acknowledges something beyond conventional understanding, to the point they legally protect citizens from it?
It really makes you question things. Where's the line between preserving history and protecting people from the unexplained? From something that seems firmly supernatural that science struggles to categorize.
It forces us to confront the limits of purely scientific explanations, doesn't it? When faced with such persistent, unexplainable, widely reported events.
So, with all this, the legends, the failed resettlements, the modern encounters, the official warning, how do we today reconcile it all? It brings us to that fundamental split.
The dichotomy, yeah. On one side, the skeptics.
Right. They say it's all just legend, folklore. Fear passed down, embellished over centuries.
Autosuggestion. Active imagination fueled by the eerie setting. Collective fear creating its own reality. Acoustic anomalies, wind patterns.
Logical explanation.
They try. But then you have to contrast that with the unwavering local belief. Something skeptics struggle to dismiss.
Because even today,
with modern understanding, technology, no one from the nearby villages dares test the curse. They just don't.
wow.
Ask a local about the fort after dark. They'll often just look away. This discomfort, it's deep. Ask a priest. They'll actively warn you, urgently, about the absolute danger.
It's not just stories for them. It's ingrained experience.
Yeah.
Living memory of something dark.
Exactly. A palpable dread they refuse to challenge.
And the princess and the sorcerer. Where do they fit into modern belief?
Well, some believe their souls are still there, lingering, locked in this eternal, horrifying cycle of revenge and unrest.
Their conflict just replaying forever.
That's the idea. An unending drama, binding the fort to their cursed fate, their suffering, a perpetual stain.
It makes you think about the power of belief itself.
Absolutely. What's fascinating here, exploring beyond the purely scientific, is that power of collective belief. Can generations of fear, of telling and believing, actually manifest something tangible? A self-fulfilling prophecy?
Like the sheer weight of trauma imprinting on the place. Residual haunting.
Maybe. Or is there truly something else? An underlying inexplicable force? Raw energy from the violence, the tragedy. Bhangarh really challenges the boundaries of the known world, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you consider what you choose to believe. And how belief shapes perception, shapes reality.
Is it truly cursed by a dying sorcerer? Or is belief, collective human belief, powerful enough to create its own haunting reality? So potent, even government agencies acknowledge it. That, for me, that's the question that sticks.
So we've journeyed through Bhangarh Fort's compelling haunting mystery. From its historical splendor to the tragic curse of Ratnavati Insignia, its devastating fall, the centuries of failed resettlements, and those unsettling modern encounters that still perplex and terrify.
A place where history and legend are just completely intertwined,
Hmm.
almost impossible to separate, creating this tapestry of fear and mystery.
Yeah.
One thing seems certain, though. Something profound, something enduring happened there, something that still echoes through the broken halls, the silent temples, the desolate marketplaces.
You can almost feel it described.
Maybe it's the raw emotion of that curse, a tragedy so immense it left this indelible psychic scar on the land itself. Or maybe it's just a powerful testament to how human drama, suffering, collective fear, how deeply it can mark a place, affecting everyone who comes near long after the original events.
Makes you wonder about unseen forces.
It really does. Those liminal spaces between what we can explain and what remains stubbornly, terrifyingly mysterious. What does it mean for a place to be so scarred it defies logic, compels official warnings? It prompts you to reconsider reality itself.
And if you, listening, ever find yourself drawn to its ancient, haunting beauty, just remember the rule, the one even the government upholds, etched in stone.
Leave before the sun sets.
Or you may never leave at all. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of the world's most fascinating and frankly terrifying historical enigmas.